Chairman, I just want to find out from you, what's your take on the, I don't know if it's going ahead, the DStv Compact, I don't know, is it tournament or league that clubs are expected, PSL clubs are expected to partake on? What do you feel about it? I'm asking this considering your response with regards to COVID-19, seeing that we still are in the COVID era.
Yeah, indeed. My simple view is that probably the tournament is untimely given the wave right now. However, I would hope that maybe by the time it is played, the COVID wave would have sort of gone down a little bit. That's general. But then from a TS Galaxy point of view, and maybe let me say, it is a tournament where, in my view, clubs that are not at the risk of relegation could afford to take further risks. I'm saying this because in this tournament, if 5 of your key players are selected to play in the tournament, you know they are not. They are likely to be exposed to injury or maybe even this virus. Then what? Then you need them immediately thereafter. On the 16th of Feb, after the 29th or whatever, you need these players against Amazulu in Durban at Kings Park, right? You are TS Galaxy. So where are you gonna? And we've got a thin squad, and they're not available. Then, really, whose responsibility now? Where are you gonna get players? The window is closed. Even then, you cannot just breach your budget for a temporary situation. Maybe the injury is for 3-4 weeks or whatever the case may be. So there is that problem. However, clubs like Sundowns, Kaizer Chiefs, Pirates, and others that are doing well, maybe Cape Town City, they can afford to risk a point or two or a player or two because they've got the depth. You know, clubs in the relegation zone, I don't think they've got the depth, in my view, to really sustain such any situation of that sort when it emerges. And it is highly likely. We're talking contact sport, so injuries can happen to anyone. Then what? What if the 3 of your key 5 players are injured? Then how are you gonna? Then you must come in and play in a season. You know, so I think that's there for relegation-bound clubs. I don't think they really have the luxury to risk a point or two or a player or two. So that is a problematic situation. I am not sure how the executive looked at this. I would have maybe thought of it differently. Sure. Big clubs, top clubs, Sundowns can play 5 of these tournaments during January, no problem. You know, but others, you know, Pirates can afford to, Chiefs can afford to. And then what about us? We have got a very, very thin team. Maybe training, I don't know, with 23 or 22 outfield players as matter stand, and that includes some of our youngsters from the development. Then 5 of them are taken out. And also, you now in a state where you are preparing for the restart, you need your key players. You need them as opposed to them being somewhere else, being trained differently and playing under a different coach, you know, in a different tournament. I mean, I'm talking my view, how I feel, and what is the TS Galaxy view as well. So I don't know, again, I'm not in the executive, and I'm sure they're bright. They thought about these things. I don't know what kind of resolutions they took when these kind of issues came into their mind. So it's advantageous to big clubs, very disadvantageous to small or relegation-bound clubs, let's call them that, because you need to prepare. The focus now, this 1.5 months gives you is the time for a club to really, really seriously focus on avoiding relegation, more especially the relegation bound. I mean, relegation is a do or die. You're in it's either you're in or you're out. Anything else at the top, you can, I mean, if you come second, fourth, it doesn't matter. You're in the league next season. You can take another bite. But yeah, once you're out, you're out. So how do you mitigate against that? You know, that to me, it's a very problematic situation. And I don't know if it is compulsory. The memo only came this morning. I think I saw it, explaining this competition. I don't know how compulsory it is. I think I will really write to the league. I'm tempted to write, or rather want to engage more so that I could understand these issues. You see, I've now raised them with you. And I'm sure you also don't know, you can see the big problem, the problematic situation for a club such as TS Galaxy or any other club, be it Baroka or Chipa or whoever who's there, including Swallows and others, Marisbeck and so forth. You can see it's a problematic situation. You'd rather have your players prepare them your way because you're going to play. What matters is the league. Not, it's not... So I don't think there's prize money for clubs, or clubs are compensated, or even if the player is injured, you play this salary month end anyway. I don't think I've heard anything along those lines. Maybe there is. Maybe more explanation will be given as to what level of compensation. If you lose 2 players, 3 players, you're going to be given, 3 points? Maybe. I don't know. Otherwise, you're out. You'll be eaten alive. One thing fun about football is that players... You don't find them in the street. You don't just pick any boy and say, okay, because given Msimango at TS Galaxy is injured, come boy you from section 44, Koma Road, in Soweto to come play in instead. No, you can't. He needs to be a professional athlete, well trained. So these people are almost irreplaceable, like that. It's a strange situation. Any other at high school, you can take any other boy, maybe. But yeah, this is the highest level of the game. So you can't replace a player when he's injured in the tournament like that, and you need him immediately. I'm saying once the tournament finishes, we've got a few days. We must report at Kings Park. Sandy Lezungu is waiting there with his Nokiri and this thing, Yamazu. He's figured up. He wants us in, and our players are injured in the tournament. What's going to happen, really? I don't know. I really don't know. So I don't know what's the plan, really. We will hear more. I'm sure the detail will come out. It came like that, as you heard it yesterday. I was at work, actually. I was writing a legal opinion when my phone started being flooded by, other football club chairmen to say, hey, there's something like this. So now, what does it mean? I said, I'm hearing it from you. So, yeah, I mean, for top clubs, it's advantageous. I'm sorry, I'm saying a mouthful here, and I sound like I'm repeating myself, but I'm emphasizing the necessary. They can afford to play 6 tournaments. I promise you, Sundowns can go. Pirates can play 6 tournaments, and come out of them unscathed. And then you, who's got a thin squad, limited number of players, and you cannot now overnight and chase around and look at signing who best players. By the time I at clubs, it's 2 days before the close of the window. The tournament ends and you've got a serious injury on 2 key players or 3. That's my worry. How do you get compensated? You lose a status. I promise you, they will eat you alive. This is the PSL. This league, the standard is higher than many people think. You can underestimate it. Testimony to that. Our national team coach could easily assemble a team made up of 95% local players and go and beat Ghana. Who comes with players playing in Italy, in the UK, where, right? We do that. What does it say about our standard? It means it's very high. It's higher than what many think. It's one of the highest standards in the world. I promise you. If not, we couldn't. Gordon Eagleson couldn't just beat Spain at Soccer City, when they were World Cup champions. Just to illustrate, again, with 70% of local players. Europeans, they take every game seriously. So it was a serious game. So the standard of our league is very high. You'll be eaten alive here. You don't have 3 key players. You restart in Feb. You are gone. If you're relegation bound, gone because you can't replace those players. Certainly, if Given is called up, Mtobisi is called up, Obas is called up, maybe Mlumbunjana is called up, Sikhe is called up, just to illustrate. And 2, 3 of them, unfortunately, they contact injury at those games. Then what? Or maybe these players don't get sufficient game time. So you'd have lost preparing them. They sit maybe on the bench there. Maybe other players play more than them because that is also likely to happen. They come back with a down morale very low. Then how you have to now to lift them up? It's very tricky for relegation-bound clubs. That's my take. And it's very easy for leading clubs. Very tricky for relegation-bound clubs. I will have to apply my mind. I'm not, my level of discomfort, I think, is very clear from this conversation. I'll have to apply my mind and see if you can't engage with the league. What's our scope? Can we talk about this more as clubs now and engage? Yeah.